With the rumors of Randy Orton returning at next month's Survivor Series in Chicago, I figured let's do a video on Randy Orton. What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to MKE Maniaci. And today we got Prime Randy Orton was a menace. Now listen, when I think about Prime Randy Orton, I'm thinking about the Legend Killer, the youngest World Heavyweight Champion in history. I'm talking about the guy that faced the Undertaker at WrestleMania 21. I'm talking about the man that punted John Cena's dad in the head. I'm talking about the bald-headed Randy Orton. I'm talking, man, y'all know who I'm talking about. So we gonna check this out. Let's get it.
I think a lot of people, including myself, have forgotten how much of a menace to society Randy Orton was in his prime. Yo, Randy Orton in his prime in the 2000s was more than a heel. He was more than bad. He was more than just a villain. He was straight up mental. He was a psychopath. He was a savage. Randy's character was straight up insane, and it was legendary. Randy at first just started off as a regular blue chip prospect, and you would have never ever expected this kid right here,
Yo, the fit is crazy. Crazy. Yo, jeans and sandals, that's a crazy combo.
Would end up becoming the menace that he ended up becoming. Yo, at first he was just a young kid in Evolution doing the dirty work and helping Triple H bury the Raw roster one step at a time, but eventually he was doing some of the most insane things we've ever seen in wrestling. It all started when he was 23 years old. Randy Orton became the Legend Killer, and this man would just simply go around and beat up legends. These poor old men who could barely move half of the time, broken hips and bones, you name it. It didn't matter. He would RKO these men. He would kick them downstairs, spit in their face, and oh my bad, it wasn't even just men. Even 80-year-old fabulous Moolah caught it.
Stacy Keibler.
She did kind of deserve it. But nah, Randy was a young savage, but after the insane match with Foley and winning the world title, he slowly actually became a face, a good guy. The fans will want to cheer him, especially up against Triple H.
What's crazy about, Randy Orton, the whole Legend Killer storyline is probably one of my favorite characters of all time. You think about it, you got the young, cocky kid, and WWE's at the point in time where a lot of legends are leaving the company. A lot of guys that were once really buzzing back in the 80s and 90s and even 70s, it kind of, they simmered down, took the back seat, and then you got Randy Orton, just a disrespectful, arrogant, cocky, but he's so damn good that you gotta admit that he's good, man. Like, this character was golden. And I feel like ever since this, they've been trying to recreate this prototype that Randy Orton, Randy Orton at this time was the prototype of what they're trying to do with somebody like Austin Theory. But come on, like, Randy killed this. No pun intended.
And the plans were he was going to be the future of Raw. His Legend Killer days were gone. He was going to be good guy Randy Orton, carrying the Raw brand, being the future of the WWE. Yeah, he was going to be good guy Randy Orton.
Didn't last.
But the issue was, does this look like a good guy to you? Randy in 04 and 05 just gave off the biggest douchebag vibes you could possibly imagine. He didn't know how to act like a face. It was awkward. It was weird. So they just went all in with this villain character. We thought Randy was going crazy before. Wow, he's beating up legends. Cool. Nah, after this, it was GG. Nobody was safe. Everyone was catching it, including his girlfriend. So he had a girlfriend in early 05, the sexy Stacy Keibler. But nah, she was too much of a distraction. So what does he do? Middle of the ring, kiss and RKO. Be gone, thought. Leave me alone. I'm a man of God. Hey, Jake the Snake looked at him weird. Doesn't matter. RKO. But it was the Undertaker feud that drove him to insanity. It was this feud right here that made Randy into the monster that we all know him as. So Randy couldn't beat the Undertaker at WrestleMania, right? Boo-hoo. It's fine, Randy. It's all good. Nah, Randy doesn't go down like that. So what does Randy do in the months after that? Alright, so first, let me interfere and cost you a WWE title match, okay? Let me put a dummy that looks like you in a casket to trip you out. But you know what? That's not enough. Let me actually put you in the casket and then set it on fire. And then basically dance on your grave. Randy lost one.
I say 2005 was like an amazing year for WWE storyline wise, man. SmackDown, you had Batista and JBL, which I know a lot of people critique that. You had Booker T and Benoit. You had freaking Randy Orton and Undertaker. At one point, Batista and Eddie Guerrero. Then Raw, you had John Cena fighting for his career against Eric Bischoff, Chris Jericho, and Christian. Man, like 05 was money, man. I'm saying.
one match at WrestleMania to the Undertaker, and he made it his personal vendetta to smoke on that Undertaker pack, and when he got it, that pack was loud. But oh, okay, Undertaker, you're gonna keep coming back from the dead, it's fine, no worries. What does this man do? On the Eddie Guerrero SmackDown tribute episode, they have Eddie Guerrero's lowrider out there to pay respect to Eddie. What this psychopath? He takes the Undertaker, places him on the back of the lowrider, and yes, Eddie had just died a few days before this. He gets in the lowrider and reverses that thing back into the SmackDown stage, causing the Undertaker and the car to blow up. And that wasn't the last time poor Eddie Guerrero was getting clapped in his grave. A few months later, after Eddie's best friend Rey Mysterio won the Royal Rumble, Rey won it for Eddie. He pulled off a miracle. What does Randy say to Rey in the middle of the ring while Rey is looking to the heavens, looking at Eddie?
Eddie's down there.
In hell! Ah! You know, when he said that, and keep in mind, I'm about 11, 12 years old at this time. I'm like, yo, this was probably the most savage thing that I've seen since my early days of watching wrestling. Like, it was beyond disrespectful because it was too soon. And it's like, as fans, we're all riding this high because Rey is finally going to WrestleMania, and then Orton says this. I'm like, yo, like, this man is different.
This man had officially lost it. And how can we forget about the tag team of Rated RKO? This was a tag team match made in hell. You take Edge, that slimy, disgusting piece of shit, and then you take Randy Orton, the man with no morals, no respect, and together they were straight up animals. But after all those shenanigans in 04, 05, 06, 07 was the year where Randy Orton changed once again, and this time he went from the Legend Killer to the Viper. And no, don't worry, it's fine. He still killed legends. He beat up Sergeant Slaughter, Jerry the King Lawler, casually slapped Cody Rhodes' dad in front of him and then proceeded to beat his ass on pay-per-view. Don't worry, he still did that. But when
07 Randy Orton, I feel like it was a mixture of the Legend Killer, like you said, Sergeant Slaughter, Dusty Rhodes. He even took out Shawn Michaels. He took out Rob Van Dam. Like, Randy Orton was taking out everybody, leading to the inevitable John Cena and Orton storyline at SummerSlam that year.
He became the Viper. That's when he introduced a new finisher to his arsenal. And ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the most vicious finishers of all time. This was a move that every single kid who was watching at the time wanted to do so bad, but they were always scared that they were probably going to kill their friend if they did it. This was the move that simply meant lights out. There was no kicking out of this. The punt. Randy Orton's punt kick was on another level. This move was actually scary, okay? When he used to hit someone with this, you thought they were dead, bro. What a move. Normal wrestlers had like normal moves, right? Like standard wrestling moves. Randy was like, nah, I'm gonna just start kicking mother knuckers in the head. What are you gonna do about it? Once Randy started doing the punt, he started doing things that were just straight up evil. First, he was feuding with John Cena, right? This man handcuffed Cena to the ropes and then spent like 10 minutes just casually beating up John Cena's dad in the middle of the ring. This 50, 60-year-old man just casually getting his ass kicked while his son watches. Crazy. And it didn't stop there. No. Did I mention that on another episode of Raw, Randy Orton just grabbed Cena's dad from the crowd, threw him over, and just boom, punted him in the head. Like, yo, Edge slapped Cena's dad, and we were all like, oh my god, how could he do that? That's so disrespectful. Randy was like, yo, I'm gonna send this man to heaven. Randy got the WWE Championship in late 07 and he dominated, okay? Remember when ISIS was running that one summer? Well, Randy Orton was basically running the winter of 07 and the spring of 08. Yo, Triple H, light work. He clapped him so hard, he was bleeding so much that you think he needed a blood transfusion.
Was crazy, and this is coming from one of the biggest John Cena fans, man. When the age of Orton began, I think originally it was supposed to be John Cena versus Orton at No Mercy that year in like a last man standing, or it was some, I don't know. I know they were supposed to face each other. And I remember Cena had the match with Mr. Kennedy on Raw. Cena got injured. They did Triple H versus Umaga, RP Umaga. It became Randy versus Triple H. And this was at the time, I couldn't buy pay-per-views at this time. So when Raw came around, I'm like, what happened at No Mercy? Raw comes around. This man Randy Orton's WWE champion, and this is the same year that John Cena was Super Cena this year. Like, I was like, what the fuck happened? Like, I was confused at what happened that Raw. Like, this was before that, it wasn't a lot of wrestling dirt sheets and all that we got now. It was, if you missed the pay-per-view, you waited until 7 or 8 o'clock at night for Monday Night Raw You waited till 8 p.m. at night, 7 o'clock my time at that time, for Monday Night Raw to see who was the WWE champion, what happened at the pay-per-view. This reign was legendary from Randy Orton, man. Absolutely legendary.
A feud with Jeff Hardy? Well, when he's in the ring, let me just take his brother and hold him hostage backstage and punt him. Fam, at this point, Randy Orton basically was a terrorist. Yo, Randy had a match with John Cena at No Way Out 2008, and this annoyed me so much. So they were both in the middle of the ring. They had been wrestling for like 15 minutes. It was a solid match, and it's like, okay, they're face to face. It's about to go down. Randy is gonna get beat up. Cena's gonna take back his championship.
He fucking slaps the ref. He slaps the ref.
But Randy slaps the referee, and everyone's like, wait, what? Why did he slap the referee? What happened? But then the referee disqualifies Randy Orton, and Randy just runs away with the title. This man purposely got himself disqualified in a championship match to stay champion on a pay-per-view. But yeah, man, all those things were wild. All those shenanigans and moments that were insane. Randy Orton finally reached his final form, his peak of being a menace, when he shaved his head, and I don't know what kind of razor this man was doing. I don't know what kind of deadly skin fade he was getting, but he got his head shaved. He grabbed Cody Rhodes. He grabbed Ted DiBiase Jr. He created Legacy, and he went after the McMahons. I'm telling you, man, this was Super Saiyan Randy Orton right here. So his feud with the McMahons starts off pretty chill at first, okay? He's with Stephanie, he's insulting her, and every week he just goes above and beyond. But slowly it becomes him straight up tormenting Steph. He eventually is like, oh, you're useless, you're this, you're that. In one episode of Raw, it was Vince and Steph in the ring, and he just straight up says that, hey, now that you popped out some grandkids, you're essentially worthless. Yo, at that point already we're like, whoa, that's pretty wild, that's pretty wild. But nah, this was just the beginning. After that, he just goes off the rails. He goes off the rails in a level that we have never seen before. So he slaps Vince McMahon, and then he punts him. He punts Vince, the 64-year-old man.
And then wins the Royal Rumble the same week. Yo, at this point, I'm like, oh, Orton's getting fired. When he won the Rumble, dog, I'm like, oh yeah, they for sure firing his ass.
Of the company, punts him in the middle of the ring. So then Steph, who's all like scared, like, oh my god, you beat up my dad, she brings back Shane McMahon, who hadn't wrestled in a few years. So she brings Shane, and everyone's like, yay, Shane's gonna beat up Randy. What does Randy do? Well, he beats his ass too. He leaves Shane a mess in the ring. So then Steph comes out, because she's like the last hope. What happens? Boom, RKO. So this man punted the dad, then he killed the brother, and then he RKO'd the sister.
Hey, yo,
somebody get Linda out here. So at this point, the whole family has been abused, and there's only one man left. There's only one man left to save the day. The son-in-law, Triple H, comes out to save the family name, to save the family's honor. So Triple H and Stephanie McMahon's marriage for the first time is being acknowledged on TV. So now, Triple H is in the picture, and ladies and gentlemen, this is it. We get the most iconic Randy Orton moments ever. So yo, Randy had destroyed the McMahon family. He had done it all. But then on one night, it was Legacy versus Triple H in a handicap match. Before they had their match at Mania, they had a handicap match. And man, Randy Orton must be one wild guy at home, because apparently this man loves handcuffs. So they take Triple H and they handcuff him to the ropes. And he says that there's only one person who can save you now, and she better hurry. So Orton grabs a sledgehammer, and he is about to wild out. But Stephanie McMahon, she runs out there, she's crying, she's running, and she begs them to stop, just pleading and begging. And Randy Orton, at his peak, in his prime, at his absolute best, he grabs her, with Triple H handcuffed and begging him to stop, having to watch this. He DDTs her right then and there. Yo, Steph is laid out and Triple H is freaking out. Triple H is going insane. And you think it's over. You think it's done. Like, wow, they really did it. You know, they DDT'd Stephanie McMahon. Wow, what a great storyline. It's done. But nah, we were just beginning, because Triple H is about to cry, okay? He is tripping, he's about to cry, but Randy is smiling. So he gets a sledgehammer, and he's about to do this. He's about to catch a body, but he puts it down. He's like, you know what? I got a better idea. So Triple H, with tears in his eyes, handcuffed to the ring, he is forced to watch this. He is forced to watch one of the most iconic Raw moments in history, in my opinion. Something that had the entire playground going crazy the next day. Randy Orton smiling, looking at Triple H, kisses Stephanie McMahon. Fam, this was insane. This was one of those things that felt surreal. Like, how was this happening? How is this possible?
And what's crazy, you know, I remember this time, when it first happened and we found out it was going to be Randy versus Triple H at Mania, I wasn't as excited for this match, because I was kind of like, you know, we seen it before. We seen Orton and Triple H a lot of times. But when Randy Orton made it this personal, involving the McMahons, I was game for it. I'm like, man, either Orton's going to also put down Triple H and win the title at WrestleMania, or Triple H is going to beat the hell out of the man that he once mentored. And of course, you know, Triple H retained that Mania. But Orton eventually got his title back eventually. But yeah, this was personal, man.
This was in the PG era. This was 2009, but it felt
This still was the PG era, though. I think PG era started 2008, July 08, I want to say. It was in there.
surreal. And then Randy just grabs a sledgehammer and boom, bangs in Triple H and walks away, just leaving Triple H and his wife just lying there.
Menace.
And as the year went on, whether he won or lost, it didn't matter. 09 was a year where he was in his final form, where he wasn't even a wrestler anymore. At this point, he was just there to wild out, destroy
fans. And it's like, to y'all recent fans, to the newer fans that didn't get to live this. I understand we got the network, we got Peacock and all, that's cool. But it's a difference to actually watch this live and live this. To y'all newer fans that like, oh, we love RK Bro. Why did they get rid of RK Bro? I hated RK Bro. I think Randy Orton as a babyface is terrible. It's a terrible idea. You can't tell me. You cannot tell me that Randy Orton is a better babyface than a heel. Randy Orton has to be a heel. I hope when he returns, I hope he returns as a damn heel. I want him to return as a damn menace. I don't want him to be up here smiling and profiling. I want him to return as a menace.
Families and end careers. Look no further than the stuff that he did to John Cena in 2009. Back in 07, like we mentioned, he already beat up his dad and destroyed him, RKO'd him, all that stuff, but that wasn't enough. No, that was not enough. In 09, he was the ultimate supervillain, so we had to step it up. So in an I Quit match against John Cena at Breaking Point 2009, wait, first of all, this wasn't even a match, my bad, this wasn't even a fight either. This was something that honestly, you probably isn't even allowed on YouTube. Yo, Randy beat Cena's ass for a solid 25 minutes before, you know, Super Cena's powers kicked in, but he put out the handcuffs once again and he cuffed him and he just started clapping him. He beat Cena's ass so bad that honestly it was kind of disturbing. Yo, he knocked him out and he was dragging his body like he was playing a hitman. But yeah, this man tied up Cena to the post and he tortured him. He actually tortured him. He would have waterboarded him if he could have. He got the kendo sticks and he started just wiling out. He was like a man possessed, the chair shots, the kendos, and yo, trust me, I have never heard John Cena cry like that like he did in this match. But how could we forget Bragging Rights 2009? After destroying families, beating up dads, and destroying legends, you know, he had to take it to the next level.
Y'all remember the promo video leading up to Bragging Rights? One of these days, letters are gonna fall from the sky. Like, come on, man. And it came down, Cena lost, he would have to leave Raw. I'm like, nah, man, come on.
But what was the next big thing he could do? How about murdering someone? It was Cena versus Randy in an Iron Man match for 1 hour. It was 1 hour of Randy Orton just being a straight up menace. So they're fighting and Randy slams John Cena's head into the pyro control thingy and the pyro went off. And yo, I swear to God, Randy looked like a caveman who had just discovered fire for the first time. So first he grabs John Cena and just throws him into the lights, trying to blow him up with the lights. But that wasn't enough. You know what? It didn't do enough damage. He needed more fire, more sparks. It wasn't enough. And it's like, yo, why stop there? Randy really wanted to be on the FBI's most wanted list. So Cena is literally crawling away for his life. He's trying to crawl away from this monster. He's trying to get away and he ends up on the stage. So Randy sees that Cena is on the stage and he goes to the pyro control thing once again. Loose. And this man starts spamming the buttons like a kid playing Nintendo for the first time. He is just button mashing like his life depends on it and the fireworks just go off. You thought Kane was going to come out and pew, pew, pew. Randy Orton tried blowing up John Cena with fireworks in front of 20,000 people. Officer, this guy right here. Nah, man, it's crazy. Just look at him in 2002. This guy right here, look at his face. Somehow, some way, this kid who looks like the most average 2002 American Eagle model you could possibly imagine went on to become a supervillain for the ages. Ladies and gentlemen, without a doubt, I present to you a bona fide, certified menace to society, Randy Orton. Wow.
Nah, facts though, man.
After this, Randy Orton's career went on and he did his thing, okay? Every now and then he would tweak and do something crazy such as burning down houses, destroying earlobes, cashing in on Daniel Bryan. But man, this run right here from 2004 until 2009, this was unprecedented. Randy pushed the limits of what a heel was, okay? They did everything and anything they could possibly think of Randy Orton to do. Yo, I'm gonna be honest, we will never ever see a character go to that level ever again.
Ever.
Randy Orton did it all, and I'm so happy that I grew up in this era that I was able to watch prime Randy Orton at his absolute best just cause mayhem and destruction and be the biggest savage you could possibly imagine. Randy Orton in his prime is like a top 3 heel. I don't care what anyone says. As a heel, as the man doing horrible, vicious things, Randy Orton in his prime, top 3 all time. I don't care. Yo, in the comments below, leave your favorite Randy Orton savage moments, whether it's a quote, a match, anything, it doesn't matter. Let's give prime Randy Orton some of his flowers. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I had a lot of fun making it, reminiscing, and just thinking about all the crazy stuff that...
You know, Randy Orton, man. Randy Orton, the greatest of all time. I say top 3. Top 3, man. Between John Cena and Randy Orton, man, it's hard to, you know, me being a little more biased, I say, you know, John Cena is the greatest of all time. But, you know, Randy Orton, man, you look at Hill Orton was just different. Hill Orton was just built different in every way of the word. Orton is golden no matter if he's a face or a heel, man, but I feel like he's way better as a heel. He's meant to be a heel. He's meant to be a menace, and we will never ever see another like Randy Orton. Randy Orton was the prototype of what every single performance center superstar wants to be. That's Randy Orton, man. The GOAT. And I can't wait when he comes back at Survivor Series. If he comes back at Survivor Series, what do y'all think? Y'all think he's going to come back as a heel? You think he's going to come back as a babyface? They might want to get Roman and Randy out the way. I say get that match out the way, then have him go heel. Have him go full-on heel. You know, have him at least finish out this latter end of his career as a heel. Not as a legend killer, because he's a legend now. But have him end his career maybe as a future killer. The future killer. Like, go after the future. Ooh, that's a good idea. Don't steal that. Nobody steal that. I like that idea. Yeah, I'm going to probably do something like that in my universe. Okay. Hey, y'all new to the channel, y'all rock with me. Hit that subscribe button for me for more wrestling related content. Link down below in the description will lead you right to this video for y'all to check it out in its entirety with no interruptions. If you are new to the channel, like I said, hit that subscribe button. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Thank you for watching MKE Maniaci. I'm out.